Well, let her rip.
Let her rip. Jake,
What were we talking about?
we were talking about a lot of stuff. We were talking about being geriatric Vans Warped Tour personalities. In theory, not in actual presence. We were talking about how fun it's going to be embracing the fact that we're just middle-aged degenerates who professionalized it and really went super far while everybody else either maintained the worst elements or gave up all of the best elements. We somehow went somewhere with it.
Dodge those bullets.
I mean, the future is bright for Let Her Rip. I still think now I'm gonna bring up a conversation that we had yesterday. I still think that if we started a band, the first album would definitely be called Greatest Hits. Just set the bar.
I'm in.
Can you record? Like, can you start a band on YouTube, like on podcasts? We'll just discuss the band that we're starting, but we never actually sit down together to play instruments.
It's like the podcast theory we had.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
We start a podcast, we never put it out, we just put the clips out.
Yep.
So we just are a band, we talk about the band, it's got the branding and the logo and the things. Hell, we'll even set tour dates. We ain't going to be there.
Yep.
We ain't going to show up.
Just
we're playing the Webster October 13th.
That's right. We're going to do full Kiss tour shirts and sell those on Printful, but no one ever gets an invite and they're never on Bands in Town. They're just getting the full tour shirt.
Us in Kiss outfits or the actual band?
I mean, I was thinking Kiss style, but we could definitely do like a full launch of the tour shirts dressed as Kiss doing the Let Her Rip podcast.
I'm kind of more of a fan of Mini Kiss.
What in the fuck is that?
So, funny story.
Okay.
Mantis, 2005, got invited to play the old Juggalo gathering. I think that was in your hometown. No. Where are you?
Iowa?
No, this is Ohio.
Yeah.
Same shit. But we're main stage. We just pulled up. We're fucked up. We've been on a bender. No sleep. It was our one day off. Parked this fucking RV in the back of the backstage. We get out and they're like, hey, you're on in about 45 minutes after the Mini Kiss band. We're like, what the shit is that? And like, go watch. And it's a full midget Kiss band, cover band. And if you know anything about the Juggalos, and they like to throw Faygo and toilet paper and a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. Well, this poor band was getting everything in the kitchen sink fucking thrown at it. And they're just getting demolished. And we're saying like, we're fucking on next and we're hammered. It's like middle of the day. There's probably fucking 10,000 people in the crowd. And we watched this band just fucking run off. These little people just run off the stage. We're like, oh my God, this is insane. We set up, fucking start playing. Obviously, thank God they fucking loved us. Huge mosh pit. I think I got footage of that still. But it was the first time I've heard of Mini Kiss. And they were actually really good. But they didn't get the respect that they deserved.
So I've always wondered this. Do they have full-size instruments?
Fuck, I can't remember. Yeah.
Could you imagine the whole thing just sounds like a full ukulele band because they don't have the reach?
Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. We're going to find, this is where the producer needs to find clips of Mini Kiss.
Yeah.
We just need the flash of the band.
Insert Mini Kiss here.
But like, who's going to, like, why would you throw things at Mini Kiss? Like, I don't know. Well, there was a sign of respect. If you got Faygo thrown at you, it was a sign of respect from the Juggalos. But they were getting other things thrown at them.
Do you think that that's how the recipient feels when they're getting splashed with a 99-cent bottle of a sticky beverage? Like, oh, God, I feel so respected. I mean, I guess at a gathering of the Juggalos, maybe. I couldn't imagine anywhere else in the world like, this is such a sign of endearment.
Yeah, dude. I had no idea. They were throwing it. I'm like, they fucking hate us. And my bass player, like, he used to listen to Insane Clown Posse. He's like, no, dude, it's a sign of respect. And I was like, okay. So I just grabbed my fucking pint of Jack Daniels and just did an old fucking Just grabbed one from the fucking.
I can appreciate that. That's showmanship.
I did it. I carried that whole set with a bottle of Jack Daniels. I think I finished that fucking bottle on stage. It was like 3 p.m.
I learned valuable lessons by not drinking anything that came onto stage when we. I think we were playing with Smoker Fire, and I started the party way before we got to the location we were playing, and then progressively that band. They had a really good following at the time, and people were bringing us drinks the whole time, and like people were throwing cans up on stage. And I was shit can drunk, blackout oblivious, trying to play drums for a 45-minute set. 15 in, I'm just ghosting it. Just hoping for the best. Blast beats, 4/4 time. But your timing never really sharp when you've been drinking. I think back then it was.
I think that's one thing I'm so proud of, dude. My drummer was sober. Never drank.
The drummer should usually be the one that keeps it together.
Yeah, because we probably wouldn't have had much of a career if he drank anything like the rest of us.
That wasn't our demographic.
Yeah, me, I could just scream in a mic, fall off, do my thing. And I think the worst one was our first time up to Washington. We played in Tacoma, this place called Fenders. Well, we got into town so fucking early that the bar we were playing offered 50-cent Jaeger bombs every time the bus pulled up in front of for the bus stop.
Yep.
Like, that's cake, dude. Was it like every 15 minutes? And the bartender like looks at us. He's like, these fucking idiots. And all of a sudden, there they are. He found them. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, right now they're all thumbnails, so even real Kiss would look like Tiny Kiss.
No, I'd see they're. Oh my god!
You can tell by the elbows.
By the elbows. There they are in comparison. There they are in comparison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome.
One of my favorite shows we ever played, my bass player got so drunk he fell asleep on top of his fucking rig. And it was one of those shows where my guitarist thought he was going to go real Flea. And he was playing in his fucking boxers because, punk rock or whatever. So if you nail it, people support it. When your bass player falls asleep on his bass amp, you just kind of stand there like an asshole, literally with like getting caught with your dick out.
Well, dude, that's like to finish that story, dude. So we jumped into these fucking 50-cent Jaeger bombs, and here we think like, oh yeah, every 15 minutes. I swear to God, this bus came every 5 fucking minutes. And mind you, we were drinking beers in between. And it's noon. Like the bar's not even open. They just let us in because they knew we were from out of town. We didn't play till I think 11 o'clock at night. Anyways, this bus stop thing lasted until our manager came in. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" We're like just blackout. So we just sat in the fucking green room, kept doing lines and fucking party till we went on. Didn't know anyone in town. It was one of our first shows out of town. Anyways, we get up on stage. We're fucking playing. And mind you, Fenders had probably a 6.5 foot fucking stage.
Yeah.
No barricades, so people are down there. Well, I'm fucking just sitting there giving it, dude. Headbanging. I got the foot on the monitor doing the fucking typical fucking cool lead singer fucking pose. And all of a sudden I take this step. And I just remember just fucking looking up at the sky going, what the fuck just happened? I completely but the band kept playing. They knew me. They're like, he's fine. Let him keep going. I just look up and I'm like, fuck, dude. Somebody like picks me up. I get back on stage and finish the set. I'm like, nobody. And mind you, there's probably maybe 50 people there. They didn't know who the fuck we were. But we were booked to play a week later at the same venue. I'm like, dude, my whole band was pissed. Like, you fucking moron, you fell off stage. And I'm like, sorry, guys, man. Just had a couple too many Jaeger bombs. And the next week we played, we sold the fucking place out. I guess the whole fucking town was talking about the fucking idiot lead singer that fell off. So I don't know if they're there because they like the music or they just want to see my dumb ass fall off stage again.
Either way, that's branding.
Either way. I kept that title for the next 7 years of my career.
Yeah.
I had to give her every time.
If there's one thing taken away from this alleged episode, it's that is still branding.
It was. We were bad, dude. We were so bad. People feared us.
Now I'm gonna say this. I kind of miss that kind of what the fuck anything goes approach to just being your most chaotic self. It's not applicable in your 30s and 40s as much as you would love it to be.
Yeah.
But in the same note, you get to a point where it's like these stories are fun to tell again. When you're still in the thick of it, part of it's like it hurts your soul a bit.
Dude, the fact that we were even able to play in most of the venues we did, like the most respected. I remember doing fucking the House of Blues tour with fucking Hatebreed. Every show was a House of Blues. I'm like, we have no business being in these places. Like full security, full just systems and processes down. We just gave it. And we are the band that as soon as you get on stage, we're going in the backstage room and taking everything you got.
Yeah.
I remember Europe, dude. We were so young and so broke. We go on tour and we've got none of us have a dime to our fucking name. And every time Unearth, All That Remains, Terror, we'd go in the fucking, they're like, oh, Terror's on, let's go grab their beer. And after every show, like, Mom, they'd come in our room, like, you fucking, and it just every night. I'm sorry. So sorry.
I think that was a game everybody eventually like played at one point in time. You know, going back to what Steve just showed us about Mantis, I like the one thumbnail that just said, "What happened to them?"
That was actually bright yellows. Like that was actually a podcast I did not too long ago. Like, look at my gear. Like, who the fuck wears a black? Like, we didn't pick this. Our label did. But dude, like, Jesus, look at that shit.
Let's look at it this way: how long ago was that photo taken?
That one, that was our first, like, when we got signed to Century. That was our first photo shoot. So, 2004.
It looks like the same scene that was chosen for when marketing and branding was a thing, and we were all working together. Really brought 2004 back for the original marketing and branding for the other.
We're like a mix. I don't even know what. Like, if you saw that, like, what art? Like, I don't even know.
We look like a Deftones cover band.
We look like a lot of different band cover bands. Not one specific genre. But dude, even greater to that story is we used to love playing with straight edge bands. It's funny thinking about it now, being like a little cleaner in life. It's like we used to trade fruit platters because we'd have our full rider, so we'd get a veggie and fruit platter. We'd never eat it because we just were on massive amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
So the minute the straight edge band came in, we're like, hey, we'll trade you our platters for a beer. Like, we don't drink beer. We're like, we know, but it's on your rider. Dude, they would look at us like we were just complete, but it worked out every time. So every night, anytime we played with a fucking straight edge band, I look back now, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, again, now that's negotiations. Another valuable asset to have when it comes to business. So here we're starting to put the pieces together. So far, we've already nailed branding. We've nailed negotiation. Now, where did we really learn client relations? I don't want to get into that. That could actually get really dark.
Dude, I don't remember half of them. That's probably why we were no longer with our label.
That's fair.
We paid other people to help us do it.
Yep.
And then they got in trouble because they had to help us. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the last podcast I did.
With, like, when Mantis was still in existence, or just in general?
No, just in general. The last podcast I did. He was cool.
Okay. So, in the grand scheme of things, like, as we bring more people in to do this podcast with us, is the intent going to be talking about the glory days and how they apply present day? Is it going to be just an anything goes? What's the direction?
Anything goes.
Anything goes?
Like, that's why I'm so stoked if we get Brandon on, dude, because just when you speak of, music and fitness and branding, like, and I was going to save this for the episode, but I'm like, you got your shit together when your name starts with the word brand.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That hurt my brain really thinking of that. I was like I'm like, fuck, brand. But no, you think of somebody like Brandon, and not just because I'm buddies with him or, Steve's good friends with him. You take an individual like Brandon who kind of brought fitness and music together and has created such a perfectly put together brand like Rise Above. Like, he hits every aspect of what a lot of people want to do, from apparel to music to a gym, a lifestyle, a culture. And especially for a band like Bleeding Through to come back together, like get back together and completely dominate this era of music. Completely dominate.
Shy of like Danzig, like I remember growing up listening to Bleeding Through, and he was the first like genuinely like jack dude frontman for a band that just stood out because you knew he looked like he was just dialed.
Yeah.
And I really don't know his backstory, his lifestyle prior to that, all the way back then. But I remember him being the first like dude on an album that was just put together and in shape. He didn't have that scrawny, like scene vibe. He definitely stood out.
I mean, he definitely was seen back in the day. Like as it's crazy as I got to know him more and more throughout all these years. It was like, fuck, man, you forget about the bands he was previously in, like Throwdown and 18 Visions. The dude's got the resume. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's cool. And I would love to get him as our first guest because he just, dude, he's lived it. He's walked the walk. He runs a successful gym, clothing company. His band is fucking killing it. He's the definition of brand. I mean, even one of their new singles is "Our Brand Is Chaos."
Yep.
I mean, he's just all about it. So we're gonna make it happen.
I think a big topic that we should really tap into for people who know us even in passing is how do you find your brand? Some people are just gifted. Some people have that it factor to where they know who they are, how it performs, how it will be perceived, and going really hard in that. Other people have a hard time getting out of their own way in like not wanting to feel fake. But branding is literally the exact opposite of. You just have to embrace it, embody it, and become it.
I think it's confidence.
Yeah.
I think it's confidence and direction because a lot of people may think that they are starting a brand, but they don't technically have the systems and it's not that hard. It's just there's proper steps. And obviously we've mastered those steps, the three of us, to be able to create a brand and then make a brand successful. We've done it plenty of times, but I think when a person looks, they hear, like we always talk about, they hear the name brand, they automatically think like some kind of authority or a higher power, or they're not in the same realm as Nike or Apple. When in reality, like every company started the same way.
Yeah.
One person, one dream or one like goal in mind, and they just went all in.
Yep. Well, you and I kind of talked about that with the force calls. Sometimes you have to find a different word, a different verbiage, because brand seems so corporate. So when you're working with, I don't mean this term like negatively, but when you're working with degenerates, people who want to be pirates, they're going to be cringed out by the thought of branding because it sounds too corporate, it sounds too structured, it sounds too rigid and tight. But what it does is it creates a pathway forward to actually become the best version of you, not from a perspective of like, well, now you have to fit this mold. You actually create your own box. You quit living in everyone else's, and now you create your own box that can be better than what you ever expected. You can be a better artist, a better musician, a better brand, and actually go to the place you always dreamed of. The dream doesn't become a nightmare because now you actually have some terms terms of engagement in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel that. It's I think it's becoming more normal. Excuse me. Becoming more normal, this whole personal brand thing. But people still don't really get the gist of it, even when we're on our calls for Force of Focus or when I'm on a one-on-one with my clients, they don't understand this, how easy the steps can be if you just follow A, B, and C. But a lot of people don't have that. And I think it's because it's so normal to us now to create or to help someone build their brand. Yeah. It's just, we could repeat it in our fucking sleep, Yeah. But normal person, like, wait, logo, brand kit, landing page, visuals, content strategy, brand identity, brand voice, they don't put everything together.
Well, it all seems so daunting. I think that's one thing is when you work with somebody who understands the value of it but doesn't understand how to implement it, then it just seems like there's so much I have to do right now, not actionable steps forward. Focus on each thing moving forward. You don't need to do all of it. Look at like working with Curtis, amazing dude, amazing artist, real dialed brand. But the minute you tell him that's your brand, then he has to think like he almost doubts it. Like, well, this is my brand now. So you know what I mean? So you kind of get intimidated by the thought of it.
Well, yeah, it's almost like when you give them like when I give somebody their branding checklist or their worksheets to complete, they look at it as a resume or a job interview, or they get into this like, whoa, what the fuck? It's like, no, just one step at a time. Don't look at the big picture. Let's look at these 8 elements. We start here. What is your mission statement? What is your why? And then you go to your core values. And people are like, I don't know my core values. It's very fucking important. We know it's a huge step in their career. Just those two things, those two pieces alone, because it gives them that thought process. It makes them really visualize who the fuck they are and why they're doing this. Because most people can say, oh, I want to be a vocalist. Well, why do you want to be a vocalist?
Yeah.
Why not a drummer? Why not a bass player? Why not a guitar player?
Yeah, I think that reason, like the reason why, that's daunting for a lot of people because they know they're called to it. They know something about it, seeing themselves in that position is, it almost seems euphoric. Like it's the one thing they'd always dreamed of. But why is a really big ticket thing to be able to put into words. And the one thing that I've learned, especially working with, the both of you, is when a lot of people deliver information, they give it to you all. Just, okay, here's all the shit. You know what I mean? Do all this stuff. And it becomes very lateral in a sense of it's just all this stuff. So you don't know where to start and where it'll get you. So being able to deliver things in a framework, action steps, then you can start to see it vertical. You do this, then you do this, then you do this, and then eventually it becomes a lot easier to do because by the time you get to step 3, step 4 becomes easier because you already have momentum. I've seen, and I've failed because of this, where when I come into a community or an education opportunity where I get to learn from somebody I've always admired, and they're like, cool, do all this stuff, and then we'll see where you're at. Let us know how it goes. It's like, well, that doesn't work for people who are creative, people who are a little bit more prone to being educated and valuing education. Sure, maybe. Not this guy. I was the kid who everybody would always say, like, well, your kid's talented. They just need to apply themselves. You know what I mean? So, but then look at musicians, look at tattoo artists, look at anybody. Those were the same kids. The kids that always heard they were talented, they just needed to apply themselves. So they come into careers where they get to utilize their talent so they don't have to apply themselves.
Yeah.
What makes them good at branding eventually is finally applying themselves.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the conversation we had last week where, punk rock and being a punk rocker in the, 90s has a lot to do with it. The way we had to market, the way we had to promote, the way we had to carry ourselves. We were street raised. We were skateboarding punk rockers that played backyard parties. And to be able to do that, it was you had to, A, scratch on a piece of paper the info for the party, B, go to a fucking Kinko's if you had enough money to scrounge up 50 plus fucking flyers, and then C, go and fucking pass those things out, either A, high school or all around the mall. Yeah. I don't know if you did that, Mikey, but that was my life. That was my every week was skateboarding to skateboard shops, dropping off my flyers, then moving on to the record store, dropping off my flyers, and then going to a concert that my mom would probably drop me off at with my backpack and pass out flyers. And I did that shit repeatedly every single fucking week for one shitty backyard kegger.
That, looking back, that was some of my favorite experiences. Was just remember going to Kinko's with the band where everybody would have a stack of flyers, 4 on a sheet, take them to the cutter. We would break every cutter we touched because we were trying to cut them in stacks of 50. Yep. You know what I mean? So you're getting a running start and just slicing that motherfucker. But it's the same thing. Looking back in hindsight, we were so dedicated and so driven to do these little tiny things and understanding the nuances of them that it's not that we were talented, just didn't apply ourselves. We just applied ourselves to the things that we deemed as those valuable little steps, And I think that's really big for people who, whether they're younger and they hop on this podcast and they want to know, well, I want to be a tattoo artist. I want to be a musician. I want to be able to start a clothing company. All these things are really easy to do with the accessibility that people have now as opposed to when we started. But there's also people who are middle-aged who sacrificed their punk rock hardcore lifestyle, went 9 to 5, went cubicle, and know they're missing something. There's a void they need to fill.
Yeah.
And going back, tapping back into that shit could give them the fuel and the fire to just go do the thing that they sacrificed before.
Well, and that's the gnarliest part. And not just because it's my age and your age, but I think our age gap, the 40 to 50-year-olds, we were the ones that, how do I say this without fucking sounding stupid? we came into technology, but we were still blessed with the guerrilla marketing and the hands-on and the no dial or the no internets and the no Instagrams. So we're able to put that kind of work into our brands or our bands or our career. And now moving into technology and having everything at our fingertips with AI, we're right in the middle to where we got both experiences, and we're able to, and those people in this age bracket who are in key with what we're doing are the most successful, or they're able to teach it or be a mentor or shining light to somebody else, because we fucking live both ways. So I think these kids nowadays, it's hard because they don't understand what we did in the past, and they have everything at their things, but they just don't have the guidance to get them to do the things through technology. Well, so we really our age demographic, and now I don't even know what we are. We're not Gen X, right?
I think. How old are you?
43.
Yeah, I think we're still like right on the cusp of the X to the millennial end of things.
Okay. Yeah, they say, I mean, we were the last ones before cell phones, with the rotary phones, with pay phones and all. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the difference between this day and age, but I mean, yeah.
I think one big thing, like, look at, because the two people we can speak to the most authentically, just based on what we do current day, is fitness and tattoo career or creative lifestyle. We work more so with people who are closer to our age than much younger. And I think it's because a lot of them lost touch with the momentum. So now they feel like they have to play catch up. The nice thing about learning from guys like us is the fact we just didn't really let too much time go to waste. We just kept the steady flow going. So all we're helping them do is connect the dots that they had missed, to be able to know that what they used to do, what got them to the place they are, what they used to do to connect to where they are currently is just these action steps. You know, younger kids are way easier to fucking work with because they already have a comprehension of the tech. You just have to teach them how to be able to embrace their life skills and to take some fucking risks.
And work ethic.
Yeah. But, I mean, even when you look at the force, some of the easiest people to work with are the younger kids who still have that original fire, as opposed to working with some of the older cats who have lost their original fire, and now you need to get the spark back. It's a lot harder to rebuild momentum than it is to initially create momentum.
Yeah.
But work ethic still does. It plays a huge part in all of it.
Well, that goes back to our technology, making shit so easy for. I mean, just look at our kids. Like, you know, as we're out in skateboards and bikes and shit, now they're stuck to this, which isn't horrible as long as they can make money off of it. But at the same time, they've lost that kind of sense.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and they see these fucking influencers in their 20s flashing the Lambos, and we say it all the time. It's like half of it ain't real, but people are so drawn to where, if I just have a viral fucking video, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But they don't realize the amount of work that most of these millionaires put in before they got that viral video.
Well, and I guess my question to that is, how fulfilling is that? You know what I mean? Like, what makes making a lot of money super fulfilling is the fact I got to do what the fuck I love to get there.
Yeah.
You know, imagine it's just like winning the lottery. Imagine you got a shit ton of money. Would you be fulfilled? No. You would feel an alleviation. But when you get to do the shit that you love and make a boatload of money doing it because you have systems that allow you to do more of it more frequently.
Well, that's a whole nother fucking can right there, is because, let's say the young man gets the viral video, but his content, his brand, his systems, everything's complete shit. Now you've got this viral video with millions of views, but you have nothing else on your page, or no funnel or no pipeline or anywhere to get them to do what you wanted to do in the first place to want to go viral.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's really kind of where I'm at right now, is setting these people up for that. Let them know they've got the logo, they've got the brand kit, they've got the landing page, they've got the funnels to lead them into where they need to go. They've got the circle community or the school community to then bring more value to these people and set them up. So when that viral video does go big, they've got systems to back it up, to be able to do something with it.
Yeah.
And to make a living off of it.
It's way easier to repeat a system that got you there than it is to strike it lucky 2 times. You know what I mean?
The chances are slimmer than winning the lotto.
Yeah.
For most average. Unless you've got,
Well, I mean, in music, it was always the one-hit wonder. In tattooing, it was there was a big burst of success in tattooing. First, when Ink Master really caught fire, and then the second, right about the pandemic, where people started making a shit ton of money super easy, but they didn't have a system.
Yeah.
So now a lot of people who gained a huge following are just wildly unsuccessful, but they're like, but I have this huge following. Why am I not making money?
Let's go back to the music. You've got the one-hit wonder, but obviously you don't have the stage presence. You don't have any other fucking songs that sound good, so your sophomore album's never going to do as well. Yep. And that's the problem we saw with a lot of one-hit wonders. They had the one, but nothing else to compromise for the rest of the fucking career.
Yeah. And a lot of tattoo artists are the same way. They're a one-hit wonder in the aspect that you may have put out something that went trendy or viral on social media, or you did one tattoo that got shared a shit ton of times around the time when that was really hip to do. But there's a couple artists that we work with who accidentally started marketing to other tattoo artists because of that. They got really popular and their following blew up, not from paying clients, but from other artists. And now they don't have a system to be able to actually acquire people who will pay for their tattoos, or in the band thing that will actually like come and see them play or care about their music because they put out a funny video.
Well, we could even take that a step further with the fitness community. You've got the one athlete or the one dude that just shredded out of his mind, does the physique competition, starts putting it out there from his transformation, but then he has nothing to collect any kind of clients or systems, or they go to their page and it's just 400 fucking selfies of him in the fucking gym with his shirt off. It won't do anything for you. So, I mean, I guess it all does kind of come together.
It's all the same system.
All the same system.
It doesn't matter the business that you're in. If you love doing it, it's not a matter of you showing the success that you have with a mere gym selfie or because I did this sweet tap, bro. It's a matter of being able to show the action steps, show the life that you lead to get you to that place.
Yeah, 100%. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Man, I really fucked up in life.
Did you? I mean, like, the one thing that I find the most value
if I just had half the sense that I do, I mean, but again, everything works out for a reason, and everything I've done, which is a lot of shit, led exactly to where we are today.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. My story, I could have done everything perfect and to the T and branded with my mission statement, and shit could have still failed, but at least I got ahead.
Dude, the crazy part is, and I don't want this to sound morbid, but and I ask this question often, like, how often do you think about death? Like, if you died tomorrow and you flipped through your photo album of life, would you be thrilled with the life you had led? And me, yeah. Like, even the darkest, most fucked up times, those are things that I will always remember because they helped me get to this place. Am I ready to be done? Not a fucking chance.
Yeah, no.
But then you have that conversation with people who have done the bare minimum because of their fear of the what if. It's like, would you be thrilled with where you are, or are you ready to start creating a thrilling life?
That's an incredible question, dude. And I think, yeah, dude, good luck looking through my photo book. You'd be like, what the fuck is this? But no, you nailed it, dude. I mean, everything, and we talked about this again last week, is everything I've done, I've dreamt about or wanted to do, I've actually done it and some. You know, like as a musician at 18 years old, I was like, I will play Ozfest. I will be signed. I will travel the world. And I look back and I'm like, fuck, I conquered all of that before I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then same thing as like, when I talk about being a chef, I'm like, I will be a chef and I will be a sous chef. I think the only thing I haven't accomplished that I set out was like owning a restaurant, but ain't nobody got time for that.
But here's the double-edged sword to it, man. When you live that life and you have that kind of ambition at a young age, how do you keep raising the bar? Because one of the reasons that drugs and alcohol were kind of my go-to was because I thought I peaked every time I peaked. And each time it got more daunting and the clarity of the next vision got harder and harder and harder.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a tough question. But when you have that sense of like no fear and like no fucks given, it's like go all in or don't do it. It just carried out. So now, like we talked about again, last episode, it was like, you just get that like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes. You want to start a podcast? Yeah, let's start a podcast. You want to do this? Yes, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You just become that yes man because now you have systems and processes and you've done the fucking work and you know what it takes. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to start a clothing company and then not do anything with it. I'm going to run through the steps and run through the systems and do the things and then repeat that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to top Mantis, though. I mean, I've come pretty fucking close.
Well, the first question is, what would it be? You know what I mean? Because that was so profound for its time and where you were in life.
It would be to do it again and do it better.
Okay, so same category, but just played a little bit different.
I got 2 projects right now, and we just got to push forward. But that's the goal. I'm like, oh, I'm not going up there just to play and hang out with my buddies. It's like, no, we're gonna get on a huge fucking festival. We're gonna put out fucking a 6-song EP, and we're gonna fucking go big.
Yeah, well, technically 3 projects since we just started a YouTube band.
This is true.
Yeah,
we're really good too.
We're creating some momentum.
Yeah, that's it.
We're so
good at branding. We're making a fake band, and they're going to be huge without even putting an album out.
Yeah.
And when we put the album out, there's not going to be music, but we're going to title it Greatest Fucking Hits.
That's right. The first album to hit stores never is Greatest Fucking Hits.
It's the same thing. Like, where's the album? It's there. The album's there. Like, you can't find it, nerd?
Yeah. Dude, find the closest Sam Goody. There's going to be a poster.
You're spelling it wrong. It's right there on Spotify. No. I said 2 N. No, I never said 2 N's.
No. You'll only find it like in hard copy at your nearest Best Buy CD
section. We only have vinyl, but the vinyl never plays. They buy the fucking blank record and they put it on. Like, first they got to figure out. Like, most of the kids got to be like, "What the fuck's a record player?" But they put it on the needle and it just spins.
Yep.
Nothing comes out. But the vinyl's sick. It's like the full. We're talking Pink Floyd. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like, multiple fold out with the things and the and
it's slightly transparent too, so we really put thought into the branding of it.
There's no bars on it, so it's completely transparent.
Yeah,
there's no lines on it.
Yep.
It's simply a record window,
and that's branding.
The band's gonna be called Let It Rip More.
Yep.
Oh,
this is gonna get weird. Okay. Well, this was fun, guys. Yeah, I mean, I think just doing clips. We're just gonna put out singles.
Nobody wants a 2-hour podcast.
Nobody wants a 2-hour podcast.
The clips are the best part.
There's very few podcasts I actually listen to, and I can say this with certainty. I've never listened to a podcast I've been on. I've never sat down and listened to a podcast I've been on in length at all.
Interesting. I think I've done it twice.
I just don't have the time.
I don't listen to as many podcasts as I used to.
I think my attention...
I'm going to listen to all the clips of this one, though.
Yeah. Well, because they'll be short form. You can digest them easier that way.
Yeah, just the clips.
Yeah.
Oh. Hopefully Steve can take out his heartbeat halfway through that fucking podcast.
I don't think it records his shit at all.
Are you sure it doesn't pop up on there? But that's all I heard was like as you're talking. I was like, you're fine. No, don't get sweaty. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a sweaty Steve. Scuba Steve, not sweaty Steve.
It's kind of the same. Could be the same thing.
Yeah, sweaty Steve is now Scuba Steve.
Yep.
Anytime I see him with sweat marks, I'm like, "What up, Scuba?" His logo is going to be the SS bolts. Oh, well, guys, this was way better than a nap.
I told you. Every time you feel like taking a nap, just let us know.
Oh my god.
Let's just replace all sleep with Let It Rip podcasts.
No, we're going to make a second podcast. It's going to be called Fuck Your Nap podcast.
Yep.
We're just going to have a bunch of different titled fucking podcasts, but it's always going to be us. We just do, like, it's just going to be like one of these. Like, welcome to Fuck Your Face.
Yep.
Welcome to Welcome Back.
Well, we could do that if you would send me the link to that fucking light.
Okay, don't say no more. No, it was hard. We've been on a mission for about 3 months now.
Every time Jake and I have spoke, he's promised to send me a fucking link.
But then we get off topic.